You're watching TVS News at 5. It's Monday, April 18. You're now with me, Douglas Elliott, and let's begin with our top story. Dr. Muhammad Osman Ahmad Sabri has been appointed as the new Sarawak Commissioner of Police effective today. The handing over of duty between Osman and Sarawak's Acting Commissioner of Police, Dato' Mancha Arta, took place at Sarawak Police Contingent Headquarters, witnessed by Bukit Aman's Internal Security and Public Order Department Director, Dato' Sri Hazani Ghazali.
In his speech, the former Deputy Director of the Bukit Aman Crime Investigation Department Intelligence and Operations expressed gratitude and was honored over the appointment by Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Ekril Sani Abdullah Sani. Osman has been involved in numerous crime prevention operations and believes that his experience and leadership skill will be at advantage when performing his duties as Sarawak's Police Commissioner. Meanwhile, Hazani believes that Osman will be able to lead Sarawak's contingent effectively and hopes that he would bring about positive changes to Sarawak's peace and prosperity.
The donning of ranks ceremony for the 510 Regiment Territorial Army and Sarawak Wataniah Army Support Committee was held at Wisma Bapak Malaysia, Kuching on Monday. Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, joined Army Chief General Tan Sri Dato' Sri Zamros Muhammad Zain and East Field Command Chief Lieutenant General Dato' Marzuki Muhammad during the ceremony. The officers who received the ranks were approved by the Yang di-Pertuan Agong through the recommendation of the Armed Forces Council. At the event, Deputy State Secretary, Socio-Economic Transformation, Dato' Sri Muhammad Abu Bakar Marzuki, was presented the Brigade General rank. Those awarded with honorary major ranks were Sarawak Land and Survey Director, Dato' Abdullah Julahis, Sarawak Baitulmal Fund General Manager, Dato' Abang Muhammad Sibli, Abang Muhammad Naili, and Sarawak Multimedia Authority General Manager, Dato' Zaidi Razak. Spartan Race, the world's largest course and endurance brand, will make its return to the land of Hornbills in June with its Spartan Race Sarawak after 2 years of absence due to COVID-19 outbreak. State Minister of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts, Dato' Sri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah said the Spartan Race Sarawak would be held on June 11 and 12 at the Sarawak Agriculture Institute and Sarawak Civil Service Leadership Institute, both in Semenggah.
Abdul Karim further stressed that this program has the potential to boost Sarawak's tourism sector.
Also, because those who come in from outside to run, to participate in these races, they will have to, they will need place accommodation, they will need transport, they will need to eat the food, they will need to do sightseeing and things like that. And it's definitely really good for tourism.
The race is expected to attract 2,500 participants, including 1,000 from outside Malaysia, and as of today, 1,058 have registered for the event.
I have this feeling that we will be able to hit the target or even more with the flights coming in, the new sectors that are being introduced. We've got from Penang daily flights, we've got from Singapore, we've got from other parts of...
Spartan will also organize a Borneo Trail Classic in October in Sarawak, one of 9 stops of the Spartan Trail World Championship series around the world and the only one in Asia. The Borneo Trail Classic, which offers a total prize money of $18,000 or about 76,456 ringgit, will be held at Redeem Center in Kampong Apar from October 14 to 16th, where runners will race through jungles, hills and rivers to the finish line to earn the official Spartan Trail World Championship swag and medal.
The unregistered marriage by parents is among the main causes of citizenship issues for the children. Minister of Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development, Dr. Sri Fatimah Abdullah said such issues would also result in the children being given citizenship status following their mother's nationality.
According to Fatimah, children whose biological mother is a foreigner, the process will be complicated. Fatima also pointed out there were also cases where a child is adopted without going through a proper legal process. As such, Fatima calls upon all parents to be more aware and responsible not to jeopardize their children's future.
The Court of Appeal has freed clerk Sam Kerting on bail of 10,000 ringgit in one surety and granted her leave to appeal against her conviction and sentence in the modified bicycle or basikal lajak case. Judge Ravindran Paramaguru, who chaired a three-member bench, granted her bail application today after Deputy Public Prosecutor told the court the prosecution did not have any objections.
Lawyer Muhammad Faisal Mokhtar, who represented Sam, will file the notice of appeal with the Johor Bahru High Court within 14 days. The bench, which also consisted of judges Lee Heng Cheong and Nazlan Muhammad Ghazali, also granted Sam's leave to appeal during the proceeding today. Sam had posed 6 questions of law to be determined at the full hearing later. Among these are whether her statement from the dock she gave during her defense trial can be accepted and corroborated with other evidence. Last week, the Johor Bahru High Court convicted Sam and sentenced her to 6 years jail and fined her 6,000 ringgit or 6 months jail in default for dangerous driving causing the death of 8 teenagers who were riding the modified bicycles in Johor Bahru in 2017. The court held that she failed to raise reasonable doubt against the prosecution's case. Sam was denied bail pending her application to seek leave to appeal and was ordered to serve her sentence immediately. Her lawyer, Faisal Mokhtar, told the appeals court today that Sam does not pose a flight risk and that she had attended every court hearing.
Welcome back. Malaysia's total trade recorded a double-digit growth of 27.3% year-on-year in March 2022 to reach a new high of 236.6 billion ringgit. Similarly, export and import values in March broke the record highs yet again at 131.6 billion ringgit and 104.9 billion ringgit, respectively.
Department of Statistics Malaysia said Malaysia's imports surpassed the 100 billion ringgit mark for the first time ever, in line with the surge in intermediate goods, signifying a positive sign of domestic economic activity. Meanwhile, trade surplus widened by 10.3% from 24.2 billion ringgit in the preceding year to 26.7 billion ringgit. Malaysia's export rose by 25.4% from 105 billion ringgit to 131.6 billion ringgit, while re-exports expanded by 38% to 24.7 billion ringgit compared to March 2021. A strong growth in exports was portrayed in 166 out of 255 commodity groups, showing increases compared to the same month last year, led by thermionic valves and tubes. Imports also registered a strong growth of 29.9% from 80.8 billion ringgit to 104.9 billion ringgit. The rise in exports was attributed mainly to high exports to Singapore, followed by Japan, South Korea, the European Union, China, Taiwan, Thailand, Indonesia, and the United States. The expansion of export was driven by electrical and electronics products, petroleum products, palm oil and palm oil-based agriculture products, liquefied natural gas, crude petroleum, and palm oil-based manufactured products. Commenting on the performance for the first quarter of 2022, the Department of Statistics Malaysia said total trade, exports, imports and trade surplus continued to record strong double-digit growth. It said the total trade went up by 23.6%, supported by the expansion in exports as well as imports. Consequently, trade surplus also recorded a higher value of 65.1 billion ringgit.
With the Hari Raya and Gawai Dayak celebration fast approaching, Civil Division Disaster Management Committee Coordinator Dr. Anwar Rapai has once again reminded the public to adhere to its COVID-19 standard operating procedures at all times, despite the country is already transitioned into the endemic phase and most of the population is fully vaccinated against the disease.
Although the infection cases in Cebu and Sarawak overall show a declining trend for the past 3 weeks, it can turn out otherwise if the people are not vigilant. Anwar further pointed out that this year's celebration is unlike 2 years ago. Although the vaccination rate at the same time were high, it does not provide full protection, however, especially to high-risk groups and people with comorbidities. Thus, the use of face masks in public is an important health measure.
So in other words, the risk is still there. And what is more important that we do not know. Though every day we say that people who have severe, they are diabetes, they are hypertension, they have comorbid. But some do not have, which is not able to be explained. So in other words, that we still need to be follow SOP strictly. And I think that with regards to the mask, we have to accept it's going to be a norm. Okay? And whoever wants to wear mask, just in case that they're worried about going to a place where they are crowded, then they have to wear the mask.
Anwar said the role and responsibility of an individual is crucial to curb the spread throughout the endemic phase and is no longer dependent on the authorities.
I would say that, because this is a bit controversial, some people want to wear masks, some people say they don't want to wear masks. But wearing masks is not only during this pandemic or epidemic or during endemic. People who are not well, they should wear masks. People who have high risk of being infected, also they should wear masks. So in other words, we accept this is the way of life when there is a lot of infections around us. To me, when we go into an endemic phase, the more important is the individual that should play a role rather than being forced to follow. So because it's already an endemic. So unless previously if we are in pandemic, we need to follow what the authorities have said. But now we are in the endemic phase, more of the responsibility will lie on individuals.
And that's the quarter-hour update on News at 5. Get up to speed at TVSTVMY or follow us on our social media. I'm Douglas Elliott. Thank you for watching.